Welcome to the Whiskey Vault. I'm Daniel. I'm the Chancellor of Wizard Academy and Whiskey Marketing School, and sometimes brands send me something hoping that I will put it on the channel. And when I do, we call it gifted drams, and I label it as sponsored content. I was interested by this one because it was a partnership with LeGrand. Now, I am not a sports guy. I'm the guy that says, you know, go sports on Saturdays when games are happening. I like watching football. Strangely, I really like watching golf. I don't play golf. I've played golf maybe 3 times my entire life. I have no intention of learning how to play golf. But I really like watching it. It's like a meditation with the saw. He's approaching the 14th hole, and I could just like sip and watch people play golf all day long on TV. I don't know why. I actually really enjoy it. So I was looking at this bottle and trying to decide. Someone sent it, and I said, look, I can't promise if I'm going to review it or not, but I got it, and in the bottom in the small print, it said every bottle supports the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation. And I went, well, that's interesting. And so I had to look up Eric LeGrand. And now I feel a little embarrassed that I didn't know who Eric LeGrand was, but I'm not a sports guy. And but he's much bigger than sports. So he is a player who, in college football, was injured in a football game when he led with his head on a tackle and was paralyzed. Almost died. Was told he was never going to recover and has since just fought like a tiger to be like, screw you guys, I'm going to recover from this. And he went from a lot of nothing to being able to get feeling in his body and start to get some movement back into his hands. And he's become an entrepreneur. I should face that correctly. He's become an entrepreneur. And this product was him working with Brian Axelrod, who I have also had to look up. I have no idea who that is. And they sourced some whiskey. It's Kentucky bourbon. Don't know where from. Bardstown, probably, because it says produced at LeGrand Spirits, Bardstown, Kentucky, distilled in Owensboro, and bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky. But it doesn't specifically say. It was in 2010 that he was paralyzed, and he's sort of become an inspiring figure. I went and watched videos. I looked up some stuff online. I was like, dang, this guy's kind of a badass. This is a limited release at 104 proof, a hand-selected single barrel Kentucky straight bourbon. There's no age statement, which means it's likely at least 4. And it's pretty. So, on the nose. And then we're going to look up some stuff online. Yep. That sort of classic, slight, dry, dense sweetness of corn, and then a shift into oak and tannin and cinnamon. It's not, there's a note that's sweet there that I almost started to call cherry, but it's not. It's more like cinnamon roll direction pastry sweetness and sugar with a little bit of a wooden accent and then baked spice, nutmeg and cinnamon. It's a really nice smelling barrel. Oh, yeah. Way more interesting on the palate. Orange zest. It goes back, okay, so you know you can buy the canned cinnamon rolls, you know? And you can get the ones that are called orange rolls, and they have this like orange, like those were my favorite as a kid. Nothing compared with those. Cinnamon rolls, forget you. The orange roll, that was heaven. This is in the direction in the palate of that, like, the pastry sugar, but with the orange direction. It's a nice nose. It's very classic. Like this is not going to surprise you, but it's good. And it's not going to like change your perspective on bourbon, but it's good. Whoever picked it picked good whiskey and picked a good barrel. Yeah, I'm gonna add a little water and hope that it doesn't just punch forward the tannins and that it opens up some things from that orange zest. Wow, for a split second, my brain went orange Tic Tac. Like that's how, and I'm probably overdoing how that orange layer is in there, but it's really kind of catching me off guard. I'm gonna Google, because I always try to do these blind. So when we get gifted drams and a brand sends it in, instead of like truly preparing, and I did on this one because I wanted to know who the hell LeGrand was and whether or not I wanted to talk about this. So I did way more prep than I normally do. Normally, I just put this bottle here, get my laptop, Google it, and see what we find. All the information about the Christopher Reeves Foundation and about Eric's history, I actually went and looked up beforehand. But let's look at it again so you guys can see it. Boom. Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Oh, it takes you straight to the buy now. All right, that's hardcore. It's a very pretty website. Why is that one black and mine is blue? Oh, because I got the single barrel release. Dang, there's mine right there. Okay. Yeah, this is the one I have. I have the single barrel. Evidently, there's an 88 proof version, which makes sense. Is 52 his jersey number? It must be. Number 52 is on the top of the bottle. There's Eric right there, and a hoodie. That's cool. Okay, so in their story, 2010, there you go. Rutgers was playing the Army team. C3, C4 spinal cord injury. And there's Brian Axelrod. I tried to look up stuff with Brian, and I didn't find a lot of information that would help me for what I wanted to talk about here. He's got his own businesses going on. I didn't get any of the story about how Brian started working with Eric LeGrand. But this is cool. Very inspiring story on continuing to fight against doctors' prescriptions. When it comes to the whiskey, I'm going to stop. There's not a ton more than that. When it comes to the whiskey, I'm going to say it's good. Of course it is. Whoever he chose to work with to source the bourbon makes good whiskey. Again, it's not going to change your life, but you're going to pour that and think, damn, yeah. A lot of times in the celebrity, not a lot of times, but sometimes in the celebrity brands, you find them sort of cheaping out and like, what do they really have to add to the story? And this one, to me, what they add to the story is they chose a really good whiskey and they are supporting the cause that is actually instrumental to the life of the person whose name is on the bottle. And that, I think, is kind of cool. For that, I would buy another bottle. With a little bit of water, the oak pushes forward. Oh, yeah. Okay. Palate, 30% more complex and interesting. Pushes the wood tannin and cinnamon forward, softens the orange note, brings forward a little bit more sweetness, but not so much that it's cloying. The nose, I preferred before. The palate, I prefer now. Yeah. Well, cheers to you guys. I'm really glad you're here. If you liked this episode, then like and subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Also, check out their website to see Eric's story. And even without buying the whiskey, go donate to the Reeves Foundation. That's a call to action, but it's from one nonprofit to another nonprofit, so I'm pretty sure the IRS will be fine with it.